Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. We are at Northwood University. I'm Vanessa Collins, joined by Katrina Ness and Cobi Collins from GoTego. Now, this segment is going to be a little bit different because Katrina and I are going to be the ones getting interviewed.
So before we hop into the questions, Cobi, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and GoTego?
You bet. So GoTego is an assessment organization. We are an employee assessment company that has been in the auto industry for over 40 years. I haven't been there for 40 years, but it is an opportunity for companies to identify potential. And so for you all, we call you early talent, and organizations are beginning to recognize that early talent is better at strategic thinking, not just the bottom line numbers, but you come out of a university like Northwood, and we need organizations to recognize the potential that you have to grow their company. And so we help companies field their A team, because as you all know, he who fields the best team wins.
Yes.
And so we want them to field their A team so that they can achieve the goal that the company was set out to achieve. Right. And so we use a little bit of science and apply it to what they're doing in their hiring and development process, and then help them strategically succession plan as well.
Wonderful.
That's amazing.
All right, so I want to ask you too, as early talent, because we have this incredible audience in front of us who is looking to build their teams, not just at the dealership level, right? But corporate, with CDK, with some of these other organizations. So what is it when you, and I'll start with you, Vanessa, what is it that you're hoping a company has as far as its culture goes? When you think of culture of an organization, who do you want to work for?
I would say definitely a vibrant culture, somewhere that is energetic and kind of upbeat. Definitely a company that has, the mission, visions, and values that kind of align with my own ethical framework too.
Okay.
And also, a motivational kind of atmosphere, where there is room for growth, and, it's very inspiring every time, I walk into work or communicate, with my colleagues.
Right. How can a company communicate that to you, their culture?
I would say definitely upfront. I think, with my one internship experience, I could tell that their culture, aligned with everything that I ever wanted from that first screening call.
Okay.
So I think that initial, reaction and that initial, communication, even with just the screening call, is very important.
Great. Katrina, how about for you?
I'd say for culture, definitely an environment that fosters creativity. I think new ideas and bringing new things to the table is so important. And I think with a lot of young perspectives, that's something that can be thought of as well. I also think an opportunity for growth and to excel within the company is important, especially if you want your longevity of the employee and longer and less employee turnover, I guess you could say. And then also something that Vanessa said is just vibrance, a fun place to be at when work doesn't feel like work, and just a wonderful place to be in a culture that aligns with your own.
Okay, so that's good. You both said energy, vibrance, creativity. So a company that's on the cutting edge of what's coming next, right? Growth. So when you think about your own growth and your potential, I love that you said that, because that's actually my next question, is how can you prove to a company in an interview when you're coming out of college and you don't have decades of experience, and we know a lot of organizations will say that it's an entry-level job, but you need to have 10 years of experience. I don't know how that's real, that you have to have 10 years of experience. So how are you able to express your, and I'm going to start back over here with you, Katrina, how are you able to express your growth potential you've got other people who are applying for the job. How do you prove to the company that you have growth potential when you don't have years of experience?
I think just showing your willingness to learn and grow inside of the role, and also sharing experiences from your background where you've had these opportunities maybe to excel in a position, and learn and face challenges. So I think that that's important as an interviewee when, consulting a company and asking them about themselves and while they're asking you about yourself. So definitely just showing your willingness to learn and grow. And, everyone starts at the same place. Everyone, there's rock bottom for everyone and everyone can go up from there. So
sure. Vanessa, how do you think you can actually prove your potential?
I think that Northwood is different. I think that, we gained a lot of experience in Northwood. And it's kind of like untraditional to what other students gain at other universities. Me and Katrina, we have been a part of numerous registered student organizations here on campus. One of them being this auto show where we both serve on the executive board and we have that hands-on experience. We're not just learning in the classroom from the books. We do have that hands-on experience. Now we don't have 10 years, in our career, but I think that finding a company that has that trust in you and that willingness to, kind of trust us new, people in the career force to grow within our roles as well. I do agree. That willingness to learn, Katrina, is super important.
Right. So I'm going to share some information with you guys that you may not know. So often hiring managers who've been doing this for a very long time believe that their gut feel will not fail them. But we have done loads of research, and not just us, but our entire industry. And 87% of the time, our gut feel is wrong. And so many people get placed in the wrong jobs. And so that's where we come in, is to help you all actually prove to an organization that you can and will do a job long term.
Wow.
It's just science. We take a look at who you are. We take a look at their culture. So we know that there's going to be culture fit. Because how many of you managers out there watching have hired somebody that you thought would be great and they are? And they've hired somebody you thought would be great and they failed. None of us want to hire people who are going to fail. And the two of you do not want to be placed in a job where you fail, right? None of us are like, boy, I hope I really just kill it and fail today. That's not right. That's not what we set out to do. And so we want to make sure that organizations can actually definitively understand your potential. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about future potential. When you go into an interview, how important is it to you that you actually see a career pathway in the very organization you're considering working for? I'll start with you, Vanessa. Sorry.
So I think it's very important. One of the cultures I listed was, a motivational environment where you can kind of, grow within that organization. So knowing that up front and knowing that, you do kind of have a path forward within that organization is very important. And for me personally, I think that once I am in my career, if I can find a company that aligns with, the culture that I'm seeking, I would want to grow within that organization rather than have to go to another.
Absolutely. That's great. Yeah, because you have to learn a whole different set of cultures. And when you work for a different leader, your potential changes.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree with what Vanessa said, and kind of to back off of that, also just like being on the same page as things, and it benefits both parties when you're on the same page and your values are aligning and you both want to be there long term, as a company and as an employee. So having the employee that enjoys the culture and knows what it is up front and sees that longevity of their career path within that company, as well as a company that can foster that from that employee, I think is important. But that's kind of just going off of what Vanessa said.
So I really value that, and I appreciate that you all are sharing your honesty there, that it is important that you see a career path forward. And, the average employee today only stays at an organization 4.2 years. 4 years, but the two of you are talking about long-term, actually developing a career.
Absolutely.
And so what we like to do is partner with organizations to understand the career paths available within the company, and then know the day that you're finishing your final interview with that organization, they could lay out your career trajectory with them and let you know exactly where you fit along that path. It doesn't have to be a straight vertical up.
Wow.
Sometimes a career path it's horizontal, sometimes it's zigzags. And so they could know immediately the day you start how to train you and where to start mentoring you from your starting position through the rest of your career and lay that out, so that together you partner and spend the time where it matters to overcome your challenges, to double down on your strengths, and to put you in the future positions where you are best suited to excel. And when you excel and succeed, the company does as well, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what do you think that would create in the culture as well, when people are where they're supposed to be, you've got the right people in the right seats doing their best work?
Yeah.
What does that feel like for you all when you come to work every day?
I think it feels good. I mean, when you're in the right place with the right organization, that's when you know.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it'll feel, back to those cultures, I think it'll feel, inspiring when everybody feels like they're right where, they're meant to be. They're going to want to come into work every day. They're going to have a, better mood. They are going to communicate better, cross-functionally with their colleagues. So I think it'll overall foster that culture that us,
That you're
young
looking
college
for.
students are looking for when we're entering the workforce.
Right.
Definitely. Well, this panel was so amazing. And again, we're here at Northwood University with Cobi Collins. And if you want more information about this panel and kind of what we discussed, make sure you go to GoTego.com and stay tuned for a lot more amazing panels coming up.
American colleges are bulging at the seams today as hundreds of thousands of young people try to get college training to qualify them for jobs. The competition is intense. What makes Northwood different from other colleges?
Northwood is particularly different because of its approach to the business world.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine. Ted Ings and I are here today at Northwood University, and we have an incredible panel with us today, Ted.
What an incredible panel is right, and I'd like our esteemed panelists to introduce themselves and tell us about themselves, starting with Cam here.
Thank you. I'm Cam McManus. I'm the Chief Customer Officer at CDK Global. And this is my first time at here to Northwood and the event. And it's just been a thrill so far, actually, and meeting students and looking forward to the day ahead. And so thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to Northwood, Cam. My name is Sydney Rizo. I'm the Signature Events Chair for this year's Auto Show. I'm currently in Davos right now, getting my master's in business administration. But this is my second year on the board, and it's been an absolute joy.
I'm Alex Mazon. I'm the general chair for this year's auto show. This is my 5th auto show, funny enough. And I'm also doing my master's program, so yeah.
Cool. And I'm Kathy Gilbert. I'm with CDK Global. I have national responsibility for all of our minority dealers and our women retailers. And Northwood and supporting this organization and this university is a passion. So thank you.
Well, Kathy, I want to come to you because the Automotive Roundtable driven by women, such an incredible event. Can you tell us a little bit more why this is important to CDK and the women of automotive?
So when we were asked to participate, one of the things that we wanted to do was to really highlight the women in the industry because women are underrepresented. And so it's a passion to us to really bring a spotlight to the women at Northwood and give them an opportunity to really kind of shine, which is what they do and what we do well. We wanted to focus on the roundtable mainly because it's not just women. It's about all the students that are here. It's about men and women making a difference. And so we wanted to highlight bringing women here, bringing leaders here that can share their experiences and make it really a great event for all of us.
Mm-hmm. And Sydney, you have had a front row seat to planning and coordinating all of this. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a student of Northwood doing this?
Yeah, so this is the second year that I've worked with CDK on this roundtable. Over the course of the last 2-3 years, I have met so many incredible women, not just from CDK, but from so many different automotive companies, and it's been so great, especially with fellow students and kind of getting to talk to them about their experiences, kind of their path as a woman in the industry. It's a great mentorship and learning opportunity.
And Cam, I know your perspective. This is a great experience at Northwood University. Could you share your thoughts about it?
Absolutely. An event where you're bringing people together and you're focusing on women, and as Kathy said, still underrepresentation. And this is such a brilliant opportunity for everyone to share experiences, learn from experiences. I am really fundamentally believe also in this pay it forward. The things that you learn by just at every part of your career journey. So there's things that you can always share and pass on. So I always say it doesn't matter whether you're towards the end of your career, someone like myself, and I do a lot of mentoring, but actually even as a freshman or a graduate or someone early in their career journey, there's always something that your experience that's going to be valuable to somebody else. And so I just think having the opportunity in roundtables to share those experiences and also just I think learn from or hear other people's challenges and how you can perhaps glean from that and take that forward in your own journey. And I really believe that this notion of paying it forward is such a powerful piece, particularly for women. Yeah.
Alex, you have 5 years at Northwood University. How do these roundtables and these opportunities to learn, how have they benefited you?
Sure. I mean, I guess a perfect word would be inspiration. That event is breathtaking for me because I get to sit down and sort of learn about all these women who make an impact and how impactful these women are in their companies. And it's really inspiring to know, because I have a little sister. And so it's really inspiring to know that my sister could be sitting at one of these tables one day and doing the same thing.
Sarah, the students we have on the panel with us today are not just any students. We've got Sydney Rizo, the chair of the signature events, and we've got Alexander Mazon, the chair of the entire auto show, running this entire weekend with millions of dollars of inventory, hundreds of students involved in setting this thing up. What an amazing event that takes 52 weeks to put together. And I've had a chance to see everything along the way and see you folks grow. Sydney, I thought that the Women's Roundtable, one of the great things was the mentoring. If you want to talk to us about that, because I thought to have a mentor at any stage in life is so important.
Oh yes, it's so important. Being able to pick up the phone and just call someone for a helping hand, not even just about work, but just about life in general.
Yeah.
It's huge. And Kathy, CDK Global, we connected to also in Colorado at the WIA conference, and a lot of those women from that event will be here on Saturday. So, and they're really big on mentorship programs. So just having that connection and them being here as well, helping other students, it's huge for us. We really appreciate it.
Kathy, do you want to speak to the mentoring component? Because I've heard that word come up the last day or so a whole lot.
Well, I am a big fan of mentoring, and I've had it most of my career. One of the things too, and Sydney mentioned the Women in Automotive Conference. Last year, we had over 300 people in attendance, and I tell you a large percentage of them were women. And the part that's fun is when you look at those that are entering the industry, first in career, and they're kind of looking at, how do I make my way in this industry? There's so many women, there's so many people. So, I mean, we love men too. So thank you, Alex, as well as all of the men that help us. But the fun thing about mentoring is that we learn as a mentor as much as we give. And so when you're looking at these new talent that's coming out into our workforce today, there's so much learning, so many things that they were exposed to that we weren't. And so now it's that sharing of information, and we learn from each other together, and I think it's great.
Isn't this great to be on campus and see all this unfold?
It absolutely is. Mentoring is such a powerful piece of your career journey. I've been blessed to have some amazing mentors, and now being a mentor myself, and certainly probably the last 15 years. And it's really interesting. A few years ago, I was really mentoring more women, sort of more senior levels. But in the recent years, I took on a young woman just out of college, and it was such a great experience for me as well, just to seeing, what are the challenges, what are they facing into, and how I can help support and influence. But not only that, they're really helping me also understand the dynamics that are going on in their world, and staying really close and relevant to that. So it's just such a powerful thing.
Kathy, to touch on one more piece, Northwood has a commitment to the Paving the Way Awards. Could you talk to us a little bit more about what this is?
So Paving the Way is an award that CDK, or recognition that CDK put together about 2 years ago. And it starts with Women's History Month. And every week following or beginning with Women's History Month, we recognize women that are doing great things in our industry, women that are paving the way, women that are giving back and helping others. And so I'm just excited because we recognize 4 of our women. Actually, it was 6, because we recognized Sydney, we recognized Hannah, we recognized Savannah, and then we recognized the Nissan team. There were 3 women. And when you listen at their stories, when you listen at how passionately they talk about not only Northwood, their education, but what they're doing in this industry, Paving the Way is a way for us to recognize women that are doing great things, but it's also a way for others to see them through a social spotlight that we do online. And so it's a great way to just give back, but also to just bring awareness to women that are doing great things, and men that recognize women who are doing great things. So that's what Paving the Way is. And if you know someone, please let me know, because we'd like to recognize all the women that we can that are doing wonderful things and trailblazing in this industry.
Sarah, I was very impressed when I went to the Women's Roundtable here last year. It's going to be happening tomorrow morning, but to see all those students gathered around those round tables and meeting with people such as yourself, okay, who are established in the automotive career, and Kathy, okay, and Cam as well. And to be able to spend a few minutes, I'm not sure how many it was, Kathy, but it seemed like 5-10 minutes, and then they're off to the next table to learn from the next one. Kathy, what a great idea.
Oh my goodness, what we wind up doing is we have about 15 women that are identified They come in and the students get a chance to talk to each of them for about 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
But it's a little bit about their story, what they're doing, and it helps the students because the students get a chance to ask questions that are relevant and important to them. So I think it's an amazing opportunity.
Well, the opportunity, I think, is ours as well. We're getting a chance at home to visit with Northwood University, with CDK Global, and see all the wonderful things happening here at Northwood University. Congratulations to everybody here on all the success that you're having. Sydney, Alex, on a great show, ahead.
Thank you.
And Cam and Kathy for all you do for the industry. So we're at Northwood University, everybody, at the pop-up event. We are going to be right back.
Go Mad!
Go Mad!